The Martinez family's annual New Year's party was in full swing at my brother Tony's luxury car dealership when I arrived, still wearing my work clothes, oil-stained jeans and a black t-shirt that probably cost more than his Italian suit, though he'd never know it. "Oh look," my sister Maria's voice carried across the showroom floor. "The grease monkey finally showed up. Did you wipe the oil off your hands before touching the merchandise, Alex?" I glanced down at my hands, clean, manicured, though they'd done their share of engine work that morning. The merchandise she referred to was a line of exotic cars that, ironically, my company now owned controlling interest in through various subsidiaries. "The hands are clean, Maria," I said quietly, "though I'm not sure you'd know the difference between oil and power steering fluid." She sniffed, adjusting her designer dress. "Why would I need to? That's what servants and mechanics are for." I bit back a smile thinking about the documents sitting in my office downtown. About the fact that my little garage had grown into Phoenix Automotive Group, the largest automotive empire in the state. About how their precious dealership's survival now depended on my signature. "Alex," my father's booming voice echoed through the showroom. "Still playing with cars, I see. Couldn't even dress properly for a family event." I looked down at my work clothes. The t-shirt alone was a limited edition automotive designer piece that cost $3,000. The jeans were custom-made by a Japanese denim master. But fashion meant nothing to my family unless it came with obvious labels. "I came straight from work, Dad." "Work?" Tony scoffed, polishing a Ferrari's hood with his silk pocket square. "Is that what you call tinkering in that rundown garage of yours? How's business?" "Still changing oil for soccer moms." If only they knew that my rundown garage was actually the research and development center for Phoenix Automotive's custom performance division. That the soccer moms included CEOs, celebrities and professional athletes who trusted only us with their rare and exotic cars. "Business is steady," I said mildly. "Steady." Maria laughed. "Is that code for barely surviving? Not all of us can be as successful as Tony. Did you hear? The dealership just got exclusive rights to the new Lamborghini line." I nodded, remembering the meeting where I'd approved that agreement. Phoenix Automotive Group owned the regional distribution rights for most luxury car brands. Though the Martinez family dealership didn't know they answered to me. "How's the new service department working out?" I asked innocently. Tony's smile faltered slightly. The department, using diagnostic systems developed by my company, had been causing him headaches for weeks. Of course, he had no idea he was complaining about my technology. "It's proceeding," he said stiffly. "Though these new computer systems are ridiculous. Give me old-school mechanics any day." I thought about our AI-driven diagnostic platform that could identify problems faster and more accurately than any human technician. About the millions we'd invested in developing cutting-edge automotive technology. "Technology's changing fast," I offered. "Have to keep up with the times." "Please," Maria waved her hand dismissively. "A wrench is a wrench. Not everyone needs to overcomplicate things with computers and gadgets." My mother joined our group, champagne in hand. "Alexandra, darling, couldn't you have at least changed clothes? The Richardsons are here. You know, the family that owns that chain of luxury hotels? Their son James is single." I smiled, remembering how James Richardson had tried to get an appointment at my private garage last month. We had a 2-year waiting list for new clients, even with his family's money and connections. "Not interested in dating right now, Mom. The business keeps me busy." "Business?" she sighed dramatically. "Darling, changing oil and rotating tires isn't a business. It's a hobby. Now Tony, he's built something real. A true automotive empire." I glanced around the showroom, mentally calculating how many of these cars were only here because my company had approved their allocation. How the financing for most of them came through one of my subsidiary companies. How the entire dealership's inventory was effectively under my control. "We all find our path," I said diplomatically. "Speaking of paths," my father cut in, "it's not too late to join the family business, Alex. We could start you in sales, work you up to management." I thought about the org chart in my office, showing Phoenix Automotive Group's structure. The Martinez dealership was a tiny dot at the bottom of a vast network of companies I controlled. "I'm happy where I am, Dad." "Happy?" Tony laughed. "Living in that little apartment above your garage, driving whatever beater you're working on that week? Meanwhile, I just bought a new penthouse and ordered my third Rolls-Royce. My little apartment was actually a converted industrial space that Architectural Digest had featured last month, though I'd kept my name out of the article. The beater I'd driven today was a one-of-a-kind prototype we'd developed, worth more than Tony's entire car collection. Different people want different things, I said. Yes, Maria smirked, and some people have to settle for less. We can't all be successful like Tony. Just then my phone buzzed. A text from my CFO. Bank approved final takeover financing. Ready to proceed with Martinez Luxury Motors acquisition whenever you give the word. I looked at my family. My brother bragging about his dealership's exclusive contracts. My sister mocking my career choice. My parents lamenting my wasted potential. None of them had any idea that their precious empire was about to become just another subsidiary in my actual empire. Excuse me, I said, stepping away to take a call. Business matter. What business? Tony called after me. Oil change emergency? I smiled, thinking about the meetings scheduled for tomorrow. About the lawyers and bankers waiting for my signature. About how quickly their smug superiority would vanish when they realized who really controlled their fate. Something like that, I replied, walking toward the back office that would soon be mine anyway. Something exactly like that. Before I could make my call, the dealership's front doors burst open. A group of people in expensive but understated clothes walked in, led by my COO Michael Chen. I recognized the others, our legal team, financial advisors, and the bank's representatives. Ms. Martinez. Michael called out, not realizing the drama he was about to unleash. The bank approved everything. We're ready to proceed with the acquisition. The showroom went silent. Tony froze mid-boast about his latest Lamborghini allocation. Maria's champagne glass stopped halfway to her lips. Martinez. My father stammered. I turned to face my family, straightening my work clothes, that probably cost more than Tony's entire suit collection. Well, I said quietly, I suppose now is as good a time as any to explain what I really do for a living. What's going on? Tony demanded, his face flushing. What acquisition? Michael stepped forward, tablets and documents in hand. The Phoenix Automotive Group's acquisition of Martinez Luxury Motors, of course. Ms. Martinez, we have the final paperwork ready for your signature. Phoenix Automotive? Maria whispered. But they're the largest automotive company in the state. I finished for her. Owner of regional distribution rights for most luxury brands, parent company of 12 high-end service centers, and developer of the diagnostic system you've been complaining about, Tony. My brother's face went pale. You're Alexandra Martinez, CEO and founder of Phoenix Automotive Group. Michael supplied helpfully. Though most people in the industry just call her the Queen of Cars. My mother had to sit down on a nearby leather showroom couch. But you're just a mechanic. I'm an automotive engineer with 3 patents in diagnostic technology, I corrected her. The little garage you mock is actually our R&D center. Those soccer moms you laugh about? Fortune 500 CEOs and professional athletes who wait months for an appointment. The new computer systems, Tony said weakly, realization dawning. The ones giving us trouble are mine, I confirmed. Your service department's problems would have been solved months ago if you'd bothered to read the implementation reports instead of dismissing them as ridiculous complications. My father found his voice. But the dealership, our exclusive contracts, exist because I approved them, I said. Phoenix Automotive Group controls regional distribution for every luxury brand you carry. We own the financing company that underwrites your inventory. We even own this building, through a subsidiary that bought it last year. Maria collapsed into a chair. The waiting list at your garage. 2 years long, Michael added proudly. Even for the Richardson family. Though they don't know that Ms. Martinez turned down their son's personal request for special treatment. James Richardson? My mother whispered. The one I've been trying to set you up with? I smiled. He wanted to skip our waiting list. I don't make exceptions, not even for rich boys with hotel empires. The legal team approached with documents. Ms. Martinez, we need your signature on the final acquisition papers. Tony stepped forward, panic in his eyes. Wait. You can't just take our dealership. Actually, I said, accepting the papers, I can. Phoenix Automotive Group already owns controlling interests through various shell companies. This is just making it official. Why didn't you tell us? My father demanded. Would you have believed me? When have you ever taken anything I've done seriously? I started signing the documents, each signature transferring another piece of their empire into my actual one. The apartment above the garage, Maria said suddenly. The one we made fun of. Was featured in Architectural Digest last month, Michael supplied. Though we kept Ms. Martinez's name out of it. The garage below houses her private collection, some of the rarest cars in the world. My siblings exchanged looks of pure dismay. All those years of mocking my simple life, and I'd been operating at a level they couldn't even comprehend. The car you drove today, Tony said slowly. It's not a beater, is it? It's a prototype, I explained. Worth about $8 million. We're developing new hybrid technology that's going to change the industry. As the reality of their situation sank in, my family's reactions varied. Maria looked like she might faint. Tony kept opening and closing his mouth like a fish out of water. My parents aged years in minutes. What happens now? My father finally asked. I finished signing the last document and handed it to our lawyers. Now, Martinez Luxury Motors becomes part of Phoenix Automotive Group. You can stay on, if you're willing to learn how to run a dealership properly. Learn. Tony scoffed, a flash of his old arrogance returning. I built this business. No, I corrected him gently. You rode Dad's connections to get franchise agreements that I actually controlled. You sold cars using financing I provided. You operated in a building I owned. The only thing you built was an illusion. The truth hit him like a physical blow. Decades of superiority crumbled in seconds. But we can learn, Maria said quietly, surprising everyone. Can't we? About the real automotive business. I studied my sister, seeing perhaps for the first time a glimmer of genuine interest rather than social climbing. Yes, I said. If you're willing to start from the ground up. Learn about the cars themselves, not just their status symbol value. Over the next few months things changed dramatically. Tony swallowed his pride and enrolled in our technical training program, finally learning how the machines he sold actually worked. Maria discovered a talent for customer relations once she stopped treating clients like walking wallets. My parents, well, they're trying. Mom stopped pushing me toward suitable matches, finally understanding that I'd built something more impressive than any marriage could provide. Dad asked to learn about the business. The real business, not just the shiny showroom side. The dealership transformed too. Under Phoenix Automotive's management, it became more than just a luxury car showroom. We added a technical training center, a restoration shop for classics, and a proper service department that actually fixed cars instead of just charging for unnecessary work. Last week I found an old photo from my first days as a mechanic, me in oil-stained clothes, working late in my first tiny garage. I keep it in my office at Phoenix Automotive's headquarters, next to the Forbes cover naming me Automotive's silent revolutionary. The grease monkey they mocked had built an empire. The mechanic they dismissed had revolutionized an industry. And if anyone suggests judging someone by their work clothes or job title, they're quickly reminded of the day the garage girl turned out to own it all. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't just about proving people wrong. It's about building something so right that their mockery becomes meaningless. Success doesn't need fancy suits or flashy showrooms. Sometimes it wears oil-stained jeans and changes the world, one engine at a time.